Good morning, everybody. Happy Sabbath. Can I have everybody turn to 109 in your handbook, please?
Yeah, we're gonna get the other one is on for you. Hey, anybody?
Okay, so they don't have the handbooks yet.
They're coming up.
Yeah.
Aren't here just yet.
We're gonna do a couple in the Baptist building until then.
Yeah, I guess.
Start on time.
No, that's,
That's for the handbook.
oh, excuse me, smart one.
Who's bringing the books up?
Well. Yeah,
All right.
Where it is. Good. Maybe this one.
Look at those.
So it won't be 109 in this one, no.
Because what song is it?
I don't need to walk in there.
Next time the song, you're not gonna go good.
I gotta cross-reference and see if there's one.
Also the same song on
Okay. Music I have is from ours.
I'm ready. That's wings.
Just a bit. Is it right here in the middle?
yeah, no matter.
Turn it to 132 in the Baptist hymnal, please. We're gonna do Amazing Grace.
Hey, what page is it? Oh, okay.
Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound, saved a wretch like me. Precious
I'll take one.
Now we have books.
Okay, so now in the Adventist hymnal,
All right, thanks.
if you'll turn to 109, please.
Go down.
Adventist hymnal 109.
Look at it. How you doing?
Okay, one, oh. Bush,
Whatever. Agree, I don't know.
You all set, Karen? It's so sweet to try.
Oh, praise the
Amen. I believe, I don't know if that's the wrong way to print out the form for community. But he did, it was my fault because I was supposed to give her the message. I mean, I'm pretty sure what we needed to do for the program. But we'll see. God is good.
Amen.
Right now, I forgot to say, happy Sabbath.
Good morning, happy Sabbath.
Let us pray. Thank you, Father, for another glorious day. Thank you for all our shortcomings. We pray for all that's on their ways and to rise safe. But right now, as we go to our Sabbath school for today, and let's all participate and enjoy the time with the Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Right now, we're going to have our opening prayer scripture by overlay the book. And it'll go. It will. All right, buddy.
Thank you for this day. Thank you for this year. Thank you for what it's all used to. Please also people are out there together safely so we can have a good church today. And please help us to have a good church today.
Amen. Amen.
Our scripture reading today taken from Genesis 1:26-27. And God said, "Let us make man in our own image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created him. Male and female created him. And the Lord added rich blessings to the reading of this word.
Amen. Amen.
Hey, Bill. I'm gonna have another consolation. I said to the time.
Amen.
Tanya is gonna be our music director for the day. hardly had family to eat for the holiday. But she won't return, so let's give it up to Sister Latanya, stepping in and taking charge. Right now, we're gonna have our mission story. Brother Bill Week.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I heard Brother James was talking about technology, and it made me smile because many years ago, when the radio came out, there were people who were opposed to use the radio to spread the gospel. They were afraid of technology. And now today, with technology, you can sit in one part of the world and have people all over the world witnessing and seeing what is going on where you are. Amen. So that's a way of spreading throughout the world. And with that note, talking about the world, this morning mission story is going to come from Sudan, South Sudan. Now, the thing that's interesting for all Bible scholars out there, we talk about Sudan, we have to go back and understand. You ever read the Bible about the land of Cush? Cush is located in Sudan. That's modern day Sudan. And Sudan comes from Arab. It's the Arab word of Suel, Sudan, land of the black people. That's people's plural. And this is an area that has seen a lot of devastation, conquering, and civil war. And Sudan, South Sudan, is the newest nation of the world. It was formed in 2011. It was separate from Sudan itself because the northern part of the country was more Islamic, and whereas the Christians were living in the south part of this country. And when Sudan first gained its independence, the United States was one of the first countries to recognize Sudan, South Sudan, but they still reneged on their promises of having an equal system, federal system, that would include people in the South. So as a result of that, a civil war started that ran from the 50s to the 70s. And sad to say, 4 million people were displaced, going as far as with Ethiopia to Egypt, to Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda. They just wanted to get away from the fighting because they could not fully sustain themselves. There was starvation, there was illness. So a lot of things happened to the folks in the South Sudan. And once they gained their independence, there was a great belief that, well, the church work was there before the independence and after the independence. South Sudan went through again civil war, and rebels are taking over towns and what have you. As a result, the people are trying their very best to still serve God in that conflict. And here's the part that is so amazing, that even though many have been displaced from the city of Jada, these folks are spread out in neighboring countries in other parts of Sudan. And do you believe that they're still sending their tithe back to their home church? Amen. They just want the mission to continue, and that the field work is going to continue there. That people are going to be, people are going to hear the word of God. It's going to still, the work of the Lord will still progress. The mission field there is a dangerous one. It's very dangerous because the pioneers, the missionaries that are there, they face not persecution from the government, but from troops, from renegades, from rebels. And those who hold Islamic beliefs, as you're aware, they don't very well care for Christians whatsoever. We are considered to be Christians, considered to be infidels. And you have no regards whatsoever for life. So yet, in the face of that, in spite of that, lacking clean water, lacking the comforts of home, individuals are going out in the field to do their part to spread the word of God, going into all the world. So the mission story today is talking about that area of the country, that area of the world that is in South Sudan, and that we will pray earnestly, and we will give whatever support we can financially to the various mission fields around the world. And brothers and sisters, we have the luxury of sitting in an air-conditioned building. When you come here, nobody's asking to see your ID. No one's turning you away. We have that religious liberty, religious freedom to worship here and any other place we choose to worship. Let us not take that in vain, but thank God that we can do that. That's a possibility for us here in this country. And I want you to understand that things are happening all around us, but be not dismayed. We are children of God. He will protect his own. So let's continue to not only support the mission work part abroad, but let's do our part here as well within the Charleston area.
Amen. Amen. We don't have no lesson study books for today, but Sister Tanya is going to still try to put something. Maybe you want to.
Happy Sabbath, everybody. Okay, so you don't have to follow along, but I am going to read a few things from the book, and then we're also going to look up some scriptures. So the lesson study today was on the restoration of all things. And we have our memory text, so let's read it again together. It's going to be coming from Genesis 1 and verse 27. I'm going to look it up in my Bible because they have it on here and I figured it once all to read it. Somebody say that when you have it?
Amen.
All together. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created him. Male and female created him. Okay. So starting with Sabbath afternoons. It says all that one has to do is look around at the world, at the neighborhood, at oneself to see the point. And the point is something is terribly wrong. Have you guys noticed that there's a lot wrong going on in the world?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's called the fall. It's called sin. It's called rebellion. And it's called the great controversy. And yet the good news is that it's not permanent. It's not going to last forever. Jesus came, died for the sins of the world, and promised to come again. And when he does, nothing of this world will remain. Instead, a new kingdom, his eternal kingdom, will begin. And in the days of the these kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people. It shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever.
Amen.
What a restoration. But we don't have to wait until the second coming for the restoration to begin. Those who are in Christ are a new creation now. Can I have a volunteer to pull up 2 Corinthians 5 and verse 17, please? And somebody else could be looking up Romans 8 and 29, please. Okay. Whoever gets 2 Corinthians 5 and 17 first, go ahead and read it.
Therefore, in Christ, as in Christ, he is a new creation. All things are passed away. Behold, all things have become new.
Okay. So what do you think that means? What does that speak to you?
But I need to be that. But you change and you become a Christian. All the old things that have been in your heart and in your mind should be passed away. Have new thoughts, a new spirit. Just a new everything.
And is that an instant process or is that something that happens?
As a daily process.
Daily, exactly. So
Well, there's another thing that's instant. I mean, when you come to Christ, the blood of Christ cleanses us instantly, but the sanctification is a daily process.
right, becoming a new person is a time. So when you come to him, you come to him as you are.
That's right.
And that's when you have a clean slate.
Absolutely.
Because he's paid the penalty of your sin.
Amen.
But then over time, he's going to lay on your heart things that you need to change. So you don't need to be doing this.
Grow.
And as you yield to them, and as you say, okay, yes, Lord, whatever you say, I'm not gonna do this anymore. And we're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna get it wrong sometimes.
Can I
But
ask
God
a question?
is,
When a baby is born, are they a whole person?
yes,
Yes, they are. But they have to grow.
but they're not mature.
But they're not mature. Absolutely. Just like when you first go to Christ, you're a whole Christian, but you have to mature.
Alright. Can you read Romans 8:29 first?
8:29 says, from whom he did foreknow, he also did predestine to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does that speak to?
Well, now predestination is a touchy subject, but you gotta understand that God doesn't sit in time as we sit in time. God is omnipresent. God knows the beginning from the end.
Right?
So what he's saying, those who he knew that would come to him, God predestined to be saved. I believe this in my heart, but I believe it because God doesn't send anybody, to the other place. He gives us all free choice, free will. But like I was reading here in, I think it was Galatians, I believe, I'm not wrong, but it said Esau and Jacob, before they were born, before they did anything wrong, God loved Jacob and hated Esau. And that's not because God was bad, it was because he knew aforetime that Esau would despise his birthright and turn his back on him. So I don't want to.
So Esau had an opportunity.
He had
still could have
absolutely.
chose God, but God already knew what his choice was.
That's right. That's
So we have both predestined, that he knows what our
You already know.
will be, but it doesn't mean that we don't have those choices.
Very.
We still make those choices.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it says we are predestined to be conformed to the likeness of Jesus now. Also, he calls us and empowers us as his church so that we can work toward the restoration of others as well. And do I have anybody who does have access to the book that can read starting Sunday?
Brenda.
Okay.
The Bible says that humanity was originally created in the image of God. An image may be either two-dimensional, such as a mirror reflection or photograph, or three-dimensional, such as a statue or hologram. An image can also be intangible, such as a mental image, an idea that we have in our heads. What does the Bible mean?
Okay, stop right there for a second. Okay, so anybody have any thoughts on that? What does the Bible mean when it says we're in the image of God? Is it talking about a two-dimensional image, a three-dimensional image, or an intangible image?
Go ahead.
Three-dimensional image.
I think so too.
When he made us exactly like how he looks. Not exactly like how he looks, but in his image. So kind of like those statues, but we're living.
Amen. Amen.
But is it just his looks that we have, or do we have anything else from him?
We have this feature, this as far as 2 arms, 2 legs. We walk upright. We're not aligned to tigers or bears. And we have feelings. God has feelings. All right. I can't say we have his heart because we are born in sin and God is born in sin. But we have a propensity to love. That's God, and because God is love.
Is there anything else that we have from him?
Right? We have the ability to think and make decisions.
Yeah, unlike animals, right?
Anybody else? What about the ability to procreate? Because the angels can't have children in their own images. We can have children who are like us.
That's right.
Okay, can I have somebody read Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 through 31?
26:31. And God said, let us make man in our image and after our likeness. And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over the cattle, all of the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created his man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them. God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of this earth, and every tree, every tree, and the which is the fruit of a tree, yielding seed to you, it shall be for meat. And to every beast of the earth, to every fowl of the air, to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat, and it was so. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day.
Okay, you can continue on that page now.
So, yeah.
How does the scripture explain?
With the creation of our first parents, God set a new standard for life on earth, man and woman. They alone, among all the other creatures made during that time, were in God's image. They were not evolved beings. As human beings, they and we are radically different from all the other life forms on earth. In any theology that lessens this difference degrades humanity. God called their name Adam, that is, both of them male and female. Though different and distinct beings, were still one. Together, in their fullness and completeness, they represent the image of God. The nature of God's image is holistic. When Adam came from the Creator's hand, he bore in his physical, mental, and spiritual nature a likeness to his Maker. The word for image in Hebrew is so the word for likeness is. These words can connote the physical and inward, which includes the spiritual and mental aspects of humanity. Ellen G. White recognizes this both when she says, man was made in God's image, both outward resemblance and in character. Deuteronomy 6:5 mentions the various dimensions of the human being, soul, heart, and strength. There's a similar pattern in 1 Thessalonians 5:23. A human being in God's image would naturally include all of these dimensions, though there is much more to the idea of being made in the image of God. The Bible is clear. Human beings are distinct and unique creations here on earth. No other creature comes close. Why is it important for us to always keep this distinction in mind?
Okay, anybody have any thoughts on that? Why is it important to keep the distinction between humans and the other animals?
In the colleges and the universities, they're trying to teach our children about evolution. And evolution is just a theory that, well, we know it to be false because we know that man was created in the image of God, that we didn't come from apes or from monkeys, from walking on all fours to standing on all two over millions of years. And that an animal is just that, a creature that God created and gave man dominion over, and not something that we evolved from.
And why do you think he gave us dominion over the animals?
Good question.
Anybody have any thoughts on that?
Because when he first created us, he thought we would be responsible enough to take care of all the animals. And give Adam the dignity of being one. on the end.
Sure did.
Right. So giving us dominion is another aspect of his image, right?
Absolutely.
Because he has dominion over the world, so he gives us a little bit of dominion, so we can see what it's like to have dominion. And the relationship we have with animals is supposed to be similar to our relationship with him, because they depend on us to take care of them and provide for their needs and nurture them. And we depend on God to provide our needs and nurture them.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're gonna go on to Monday. The following is after. The Bible does not say how long a period of time existed between the finished creation and the fall. Days, weeks, years, we just don't know. What we do know, however, is that there was a fall and the consequences were immediate and apparent. And I want us to actually, I'm just gonna be a little part here, and then I want us to go through, if everybody be pulling up Genesis chapter 3. We're gonna try to get the first mentioned result of Adam and Eve eating of the tree of knowledge of good and evil was the sensualization of their nakedness. They sought to cover themselves from the presence of God. Their robes of light now disappeared. Their intimacy with God was disrupted because of the newly discovered intimacy with the self-centeredness of evil. God then sought to educate the first couple in regards to the consequences that their sin had for them. So we're going to read the following text and identify some of the consequences of Adam and Eve's decision as seen in each of the passages. So before we do that, anybody have any thoughts on what the roots of light was that they wore before the fall?
Say the rules of life.
Rose of light. Well, the interesting parallel when Moses went up on the mountain and he came in the presence of God, his face shone so brightly that they couldn't even look on him. And, so when we're in the presence of God, we have God's righteousness. He gave them robes of light and robes of pure righteousness. They lost them because of their fall. Genesis 3, we're going to start with verses 8 through 10. So you can have to read that and we'll talk about the consequences of those verses.
Genesis 3, 8 and 10.
They heard the sound of the Lord walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God among the trees of the garden. Then the Lord called to Adam and said unto him, Where are you? So he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself.
Okay, so we have the consequences already there. What consequences did they have?
They experienced shame. They never had experienced that before. The role of life was the fact that there was no shame in them looking upon one another. They didn't see that nakedness. They were innocent. They lost that innocence when they disobeyed God.
So they were covered by God's robes of light.
Yes.
They lost that.
The innocence. You don't look at a baby and see it naked. You know what I mean? A baby is innocent.
Right. Anything else? Any of the consequences that occurred in that verse? What about fear? If they had a reason to experience fear before that? But now they were afraid because of that. Okay, so
Was the fear? I think the situation fear was the fear because they're going to get found out that they had disobeyed God. How was the fear? Because of what was going to happen next, what was going to be the consequences. Was Adam fearful that maybe since Eve brought in this truth that something's gonna happen to her, you'll be alone again. I mean, just throw out some human factors out there.
Probably a combination of all of them.
That's right.
Good talk. Tiffany, can you read Genesis 3 and 12, please?
And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she ate me of the tree and I did eat.
Playing game stuff. Way
Okay,
back
so
then.
now we have the blame game going on. So, what was that consequence?
Well, he threw Eve under the bus.
So,
And
they're backbiting each other.
then he blamed God, because it's the woman you gave me. You gave me this woman. This
So now it's God's fault. Eve's fault, it's God's fault.
Sure.
So, it could be that they weren't able to take responsibility for what they've done. At that point, that was the consequence. They weren't taking, or they chose not to take, they could have taken, they chose not to take responsibility. That's it for each other.
The fast forward to today, isn't that why confession is so important? I mean, even in the life of a Christian, we come to Christ and we confess our sins. Yeah,
We have to acknowledge that we did it.
we have to acknowledge that's
It
right.
wasn't anybody else's fault.
That's right. Can't believe anybody.
That volunteer for Genesis 3 and 13. Okay.
And the Lord said to the woman, what is this you have done? And the woman said, the serpent deceived me, and I eat.
Okay, so Adam made the other one family.
That's right.
And let him off with it because he did it. All right. Somebody read Genesis 3:16.
And to the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
So now we're gonna have painful childbirth. Okay, Genesis 17 through 19, somebody?
And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it, cursed is the ground for thy sake, in sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. 18. Thorns and thistle shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. And 19. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou shalt return to the ground, for out of it wast thou taken, from dust thou art, and unto dust thou shalt return.
Okay, so what consequences did we have in this passage?
The consequence of that not being able to get food easy, they have to work hard.
So having to work hard. They had pleasant work before that, but now they have to work hard and
Sweaty breath.
sweat.
Yes.
Okay, anything else?
Experience death.
Yeah.
There was no death before. And although Adam and Eve did not die instantly right then, they did die. Well, they did died spiritually right then, but physically they didn't die right then, but they did eventually die.
But death didn't enter the picture.
Pardon me again.
Death didn't enter the picture though.
That's right, death entered the picture, that's right.
And what about nature? Was there any consequences with nature?
Yeah, thorns and thistles. I guess roses didn't have pretty bushes on the fall. You know, there weren't no thorns and no sticky briar patches and things like that. All nature was just one, but after the fall.
And it's not just people that die, so the animals or
Yeah,
die.
yeah, everything had it done.
And we'll start eating each other.
No question the fall is real. The fall was hard, and the fall was terribly consequential for our race. The long, sad story of human history, right up to the current events, reveals the tragic consequences of sin. How thankful we can be then for the promise that one day the tragedy of sin is going to be over and done and never repeated. What are ways that we every day can live with the consequences of our own sins? How can we live with the consequences of our sins? What can we do about it?
One thing I know.
Anybody? What can we do about the consequences of our sins?
Well, the answer, well, what would sin? We ask for forgiveness. And the consequences of forgiveness there, of course, there's consequences you deal with. And you can take those consequences, the daily reminder of what not to do again, of how not to live. But I tell you, man up, yes, cowboy up, love, and accept the fact that there's sin made, there's errors made, and here's the consequences, and you have to ask the Lord to help you through them, to keep your feet on the path and avoid that conduct ever again. And again, as you alluded to earlier, we try our best. We can't do it on our own. We don't need the help of God. We try to do it on our own. That's like putting a monkey to 747 Bill Scott on the land. It just ain't gonna happen. We're gonna need God's.
Can I ask you a question? How did the children of Israel, how did they have this to forgive?
The same way we do.
Well, they had a different process though, it's the
It's a
same.
different process,
Right.
but they were looking forward to the crucifixion. We were looking back on it.
All right, and it
So they had to
was,
do the animal sacrifices.
It was the blood. that's right, it was the blood.
Toothless.
And that comes to Christ, when we look at the cross, and it's the blood of Christ that cleanses us. So our sins are forgiven by the blood of Christ, right?
But we still are supposed to ask for forgiveness. Ask God to help us. Try to make amends where we know that we're wrong people.
Most definitely.
So moving on to Tuesday. Last we read Genesis 3:14-15. Go ahead.
So the Lord God said to the serpent, because you have done this, you are cursed more than all cattle, and more than every beast of the field. On your belly you shall go, and you shall eat dust all the days of your life. And I'll put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel.
Okay. So what does that say to you?
That because the devil used the serpent as his body for that time, God cursed all the serpents, so the serpents now have to lay there or stomachs and food the ground instead of being able to fly.
Right. And I'm over 5. And what about, is there a symbolic meaning behind that as well? And just snakes that were first, or is there something behind the snake? So there's now going to be enmity between the seed of the woman, which is who? Church. Ultimately, Christ. And so we have the whole great controversy being set up here between Christ and Satan.
Amen.
And Satan's going to get some strikes in, so he's going to bruise his heel. So what's going to happen to the serpent?
That's,
And he gets 10 crushed into the snake.
that's right.
So ultimately, that means that Christ is going to defeat Satan. And did defeat Satan on the cross.
And we get to choose sides.
The other woman's side.
That's right.
The word enmity in Hebrew shares its root with the Hebrew word hate and the word enemy. By eating of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, the place themselves and all humanity with God. God's promise here implies that God would set in motion his plan to draw humanity back to himself, thus shifting their enmity to Satan. Thus, by shifting the enmity from himself to Satan, God would establish an avenue through which he could save humanity, while at the same time not violating the principles of his divine government. So what is known as the original sense as atonement, what God has done and is doing in order to ultimately restore what had been lost in the fall. Theologians sometimes use the word expiation to talk about how this atonement works. The Latin phrase expiare means to atone for, and the idea involves reparation for a wrong deed. Someone did wrong, usually violated the law. Justice demands a penalty for the wrong. In English, it is sometimes said that the guilty person owes a debt to society. In our situation, we sin, but in the plan of salvation, the atonement, Christ's sacrificial death, relieves us from the legal consequences of that wrongdoing. Instead, Christ himself paid the penalty for us. The punishment that legally should have been ours was given to Jesus instead. That way, the demands of justice were met, but they were met by Jesus instead of us. Though we are sinners, and we have done wrong, we are pardoned, forgiven, and justified in his sight. This is the crucial and foundational step in the restoration of all things. Now volunteer to read the first steps. Well, Wednesday is restoration in Jesus. My little children, for whom I labor in birth again until Christ is formed in me. We were originally created as perfect and complete beings in a perfect and complete world. Unfortunately, this pre-fall paradise was lost through sin, and the world as we know it is filled with death, violence, suffering, fear, and ignorance. The plan of salvation was created in order to bring this world back to its original perfection. Christ came in order to regain what was lost in the fall. In the beginning, God created man in his own likeness. He endowed him with noble qualities. His mind was well balanced, and all the powers of his being were harmonious. But the fall and its effects have perverted these gifts. Sin has marred and well nigh obliterated the image of God in man. What does that say to you guys? Anybody have any thoughts on that part? What's some ways that sin has almost obliterated the image of God in us?
Because people these days don't care about doing the right thing or about how other people feel. And so people feel like they go around telling people like they shouldn't have another name or church.
Right.
And people are thinking, where's God now? And like if God was really here, he would protect us from these things. But he's not. So he's not real. And people are stopping. We stop believing in God. And they also took a time for the words because they stopped.
You touched on a lot of them there. We have stopped caring about people as much as we used to. We're out there doing violent things, harming people. People have stopped believing in God as much as they used to. Anybody else have any thoughts on that?
My dad was telling me about how when he was younger, you couldn't walk wherever you wanted in your neighborhood. And now, if you try to go outside, you're in danger of someone trying to kidnap you, or they're shooting you for no reason. So people don't interact with their neighbors or with the community that much easier.
The fellowship that we used to have with our.
And sadly, in some churches, there's not fellowship among the members of the church. Sure. They'll see you once a week, wave at you. If they do that, I'm sure you visit churches where folks just aren't too friendly. And here we are in the house of the Lord, wanting to everybody have experience of praising God. But someplace you go, you just don't get that warm, pleasant feeling. Everybody's on the same page when it comes down to loving God.
Or especially if somebody walks in and they're not maybe dressed the same way as
Sure.
other people.
Sure.
Maybe they're, homeless.
That's right.
Also
That's right. That's right.
We live in a world right now today where so-called religious fanatics have taken this definite sentence to another level, where they're willing to destroy their own lives just to kill other people. 9/11, those 3,000 people got up that day and went to work just like it was any other day. They had no idea that 2 planes were crashing to Sandy Hook. Those children got to school that day just like it was any other day. They had no idea some deranged man would come in and kill 27 children. We live in a world now that fear is permanent around us everywhere. You can go to the supermarket. It doesn't happen frequently here in the United States, but it has happened. But in other countries, you can't go to the airport without being a threat with someone planting a bomb on themselves and blowing themselves up and getting everybody else around. We live in a constant state, or they want us to live in a constant state of fear.
And the Bible says that in the last days, people's hearts will fail them for fear. We know that, it's all going to get worse, but we know that God is going to advance.
That's right. He said, when we see these things, at the end is not yet, but our salvation is nearer now than when we first believed. That's comforting, no matter what, we don't have to fear that last enemy that's going to be thrown into that lake of fire. That's going to be death.
It was to restore this that the plan of salvation was devised, and life of probation was granted to man. To bring him back to the profession in which he was first created is the object of life, the object that underlies every other. Though this restoration won't be completed until the new heaven and the new earth, the process has begun in us now. That's someone read Galatians 4 and 19.
Or what?
Verse 19.
I will say, I will not labor in birth again until Christ is formed.
Okay. So whatever his immediate concerns, what important spiritual point is Paul making here? Any thoughts on that? Galatians 4:19. Is it painful to be given birth?
It is painful because I've been through it, and I know, and I say that every woman on earth is or has been through it, and it is very, very, very painful.
I can only imagine.
So when Paul says that he's laboring in birth in a spiritual sense, it's painful to change, isn't it? Like when we have to make changes in our lives, we want to do what we're doing before we have to change.
Question, but it's on the same topic, but I know naturally it's painful, but I don't know if mine doesn't count because mine was a C-section, but I know naturally it hurts. So, but I didn't have that, so.
And carrying a child for 9 months, you know, really is in and of itself an ordeal, is it not? And I think that's what Paul is pointing out, that, you know, these were young, new Christians. I would say young. They were babes in Christ. And Paul was, you know, he was laboring because he wanted them to grow. And we want our children to grow, but Christ wanted them to grow spiritually in Christ. So I guess that's the point he was trying to make, that he was laboring as a mother would with her child, you know, and that same yearning to see that child born and to grow and to succeed or whatever.
And taking it a step further, should we be having that same concern for
For
community?
for everybody.
Family or
That's right. Because we don't know who is Christ, who belongs to Christ. We don't know. You know what I mean? You might see a person and think that they're just a homeless wreck. You know what I mean? But that might be a child of God, and it's something that you might say that encourages them. You know, one man plants, another man waters, but God is the increase. So we all play some part in this. You know, we all play some part in that nurturing to bring a person to Christ.
And it starts with having a concern for them.
Absolutely.
And the love of God brings about the concern of others.
Absolutely.
And it goes hand in hand. It's so the message that Jesus gave. You know, the hungry fed, instruction there to take care of the widow and the children.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's compassion, and it's difficult in church not to show compassion. And when I say difficult, meaning you can't preach the gospel and then not show compassion and love for others, and you're missing the point.
That's right. Yeah.
So,
And so the word begins now in us to restore us. Why must we always remember the restoration will be totally completed?
so the restoration will not be complete until the second coming. We understand that the heart of man wax cold, and as time goes on, as you know, alluded to, we know that the time of trouble is coming upon, and we're going to see a lot of evil and mean-spirited things being done, but only until, and not if, when we overcome that, but when Jesus comes, then the just reward is being handed out. And the completion, that's the completion. Even if we fall asleep in Jesus, upon his resurrection, upon his return, the second coming, then it will all be complete.
And we can't see Christ as we are. This mortal has to put on immortality. It is corruption must put on incorruption. I mean, so we can't see Jesus as we are. We have to be changed. I mean, physically changed in order to be his presence, which is going to happen in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, if we are alive when he comes, or if you are already asleep, you'll be changed instantly. You will meet the Lord there. But we can't see Christ in these bodies. That's why I can't understand why people say something like, we lean too much on God's grace. There's nothing else we can lean on. Because the best that we can do in these world bodies is filthy rags. So all we can lean on is God's grace. And strive to do the best we can. But that's all we can lean on is his grace.
Moving on to the third, restoring the role of the church. As we have seen, our world, the created perfect and fallen with devastating results. But God had not abandoned us to what would have been our great eternal destruction. Instead, even before the world began, the plan of salvation was formulated.
That's right. Good God,
And at a great cost, personal cost of himself, Jesus came to this world, suffered on the cross, and promises to return. And by the time everything is over and sin is destroyed, The world that had been lost will be fully restored. So we'll read Mark 2:1-12.
And again he entered into Capernaum after some days, and it was noise that he was in the house. And straightway many were gathered together, insomuch that there was no room to receive them. No, not so much as about the door. And he preached the word unto them. 3. And they came unto him, bringing one sick of the palsy, which was born forth, or carried forth him. And when they could not enter nigh unto him for the press, they uncovered the roof where he was. And when they had broken it up, they let down the bed wherein the sick of the palsy lay. 5. When Jesus saw their faith, he said unto the sick of the palsy, Son, thy sins be forgiven thee. But there were certain of the scribes sitting there, and reasoning in their hearts, why does this man thus speak blasphemy? Who can forgive sins but God only? 8. And immediately when Jesus perceived in his spirit that they so reasoned within themselves, he said unto them, Why reason ye these things in your heart? Whether it is easier to say to the sick of the palsy, thy sin be forgiven thee, or to say, arise and take up thy bed and walk. 10. But that ye may know that the Son of Man has power on earth to forgive sin, he saith to the sick of the palsy, I say unto thee, arise and take up thy bed and go thy way into thine house. 12. And immediately he arose and took up the bed and went forth before them all, insomuch that they were all amazed and glorified God, saying, We never saw it on this fashion.
How does this story illustrate the role of the church in healing and restoring?
These 4 men had a heart for their friend, and they had faith enough to believe. They had seen the miracles that Jesus had done. And these 4 men represented the church. They carried this man, and they wouldn't take no for an answer. They wouldn't say, well, there's too many people, we can't get in. They made a way, they found one. They went up on the roof. They removed the shingles, and they lowered him down, you know what I mean, by hand to where Jesus was. And just like that woman with the issue, she believed in her heart, if I could just touch the hem of his garment. When she did that, Jesus said he felt virtue go out of her. Well, Jesus saw the faith of this man. I guess this man was supposed to, he had to have this faith in him to be dragged or carried, that far, and to be submitted to this. I mean, but Jesus said when he saw his faith, he said that his sins were forgiven and he was healed. But I believe that the role of the church should be the role of those 4 individuals played with bringing people to Christ in support, whatever it takes. Whatever it
takes to bring people to Christ,
Yes.
have concern for people,
That's
bear
right.
their burden. And one last thought. How did the apostle in John 10:10 life and life more abundantly. How did the Apostle John describe the reason of Christ appeared on earth? And what can we draw from this promises? What can we draw from this?
John 10:10, it says, the thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. Okay, we know who the thief is. That's Satan. But I have come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundant. I don't believe the more abundant life is on this side, personally. I believe that Christ came because we're going to have trials in this world. But the life that we're going to have more abundantly is that life that He has for us on earth. That's not to say that we're not going to be or won't be happy or content on this side, because we learn as Christians to be content in whatever it is that we have. Okay, but I really believe that abundant life is a life to come. I don't believe in sending my money to some place to get sow a seed and get thousands. But my abundant life is going to be that abundant life in Christ, when we can live forever with immortal bodies.
I hadn't spoke all morning, but I just wanted to say one thing about it. I like the topic for Thursday you just mentioned. I just turned away from restoring the role of the church and giving us abundant life. I think when I was reading, I didn't do a good job this week, but it tells me that we as a church, we have to prepare these people. We have to be one part of this restoration. We know God's going to restore all the things that we need, but we have to be a partner with Him. The lessons point that out for us. And it said that if we can be a part, and the only partner that can be played in this role is the church. Of all the other secular things out there, the church is going to be the unique part of that. That's what our lesson said. It's not what that's what I read. It said that we're going to play that a unique part of providing or help restoring that. And we always use criticism in all our thoughts, and when they look around us, we need to examine ourselves. We, like most of us, we don't have that zeal anymore that doing this restore. We're sitting back and waiting, and that's why I'm so guilty. I hadn't said anything this morning because I can point at me. And God, but the best word that we've covered this morning is saying that this restoration will happen. So that gives me the hope. And that hope is in me to come here this morning to know that we are working on that restoration, restoring that part, and that gives me joy just to know that we will have it.
Amen. Amen. Good job.
Church, say amen.
Amen. Amen.
Yes, Sister Tanya, you did a wonderful job. And right now, hello, brother, Claudia. Yeah, Brother Whiteside with us today.
Amen. That's all right.
Here come on.
Okay.
I gotta get a kid, that's not possible.
You put sweet.
Good morning, Mom. How you doing?
Have y'all had, story yet?
No, ma'am. We can get it. And I pray, thank you, Heavenly Father, for another glorious day. Thank you for all the participating in staff school. Thank you for the wonderful job that Tanya does for us.
Amen.
Without her help, we carry on, but she's always willing to join in. We pray for her. We pray for all the members of the council. Right now, we lift up the adoption today in the name of my Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah, they would probably want to. That's what he's on.
Okay.